This is an analysis of the first line of the Azarbaal inscription, otherwise known as the Byblos bronze spatula or KAI-3. Right away, it's important to note that we are dealing with a text that is quite fragmentary. As you can see before the first line starts, we have a large gap in the inscription. That first letter, which is a yod by the way, is likely the ending to a personal name. What this person's name was is unknown. The next discernible character of morphological value is this lamed here. And spoilers, what follows next is going to be another personal name. This lamed, given that the prior is a personal name, would be the indication of the recipient of this particular piece of bronze, which we will examine in due course. In our attempt to examine the name of the recipient of this piece of bronze, we are once again confronted with the fact that our text is fragmentary. We only have a good view of the first two letters, which is an ayin and a zayin. The break in the text somewhat stops due to the fact that the writing of line 1 curves downward with the arc of the spatula. So we can actually get a pretty good view of another ayin and a lamed following that ayin right toward the end. With these two characters, it actually becomes fairly straightforward to figure out what that other one is, because it has a flat bottom and clearly connects to something above it. And before ayin and lamed in a personal name, that tends to be a bait representing the deity Baal. You can see in the way I've tried to draw it here how it would be reconstructed. So what about this final character that comes between the zayin and the bait? While definitely the most difficult to make out, and there is more than one proposal that has been made, these days it's fairly uncontroversial to render this as a reish, meaning that the whole name would read Azarbaal, or Baal is my help, or Baal helps. This would be very similar to the theophoric name Eleazar, which is El is my help from the Pentateuch. Taken all together, we don't get much more than this name. We get something, Le Azarbaal. But what that something is might not necessarily be a personal name of the person who sent this with Azarbaal as a recipient. This could just as easily be a receipt, with the first thing being some kind of property, which is to Azarbaal. This is the difficulty with having ambiguity due to lacunae in the text. There's just no way to know for sure.